It's too hot to turn on the oven. I'm lazy and grocery prices aren't getting any lower. Today I'm going to show you how to make fall off the bone chicken drumsticks and a whole chicken fryer right in the crock pot. This is a budget-friendly weeknight dinner anyone can make. And I'm working with chicken drumsticks. I like this because it's budget-friendly and you can feed a lot of people. A half cup of water, and I'm going to mix in this packet of chicken-flavored gravy mix. You can season how you prefer. You can keep it as simple as salt and pepper if you like, and if that's all you have. This is what I'm using today. I'm going to go over with all my seasonings while it's in the bowl first. Just go over with all the seasonings and spices. I'm going to set it to high and let that cook for about 4 to 5 hours. I'm going to make mashed potatoes to go along with this and a side salad. And if you want the side salad recipe or how I made it, I will put a link in the description below. But this is a simple meal, and other than the time it cooks in the slow cooker, it's an easy meal to put together any night of the week. Okay, so it's been close to 4 hours. Oof. So the cook time will vary depending on how cold the chicken is going into the slow cooker, but this took around 3.5 hours. And I want to show you how easily this falls off the bone. Hence why I call it fall off the bone lazy chicken drumsticks. And I do this in various ways depending on how I season and add spices to the mix. But this is tender, juicy, and ready for dinner. Serve it with mashed potatoes. Sometimes I do this over steamed rice. It just depends what I have on hand and what my family feels like eating. You can serve with your favorite veggies. I'm opting for an Olive Garden style salad. It's so good. Let me show you some other ways that I like to make crock-pot chicken. Slow cooker fall off the bone chicken dinners. With creamy mashed potatoes, I use a mashed potato hack and roasted asparagus. Look at this. The perfect bite for a lazy day. To start, I'm working with thawed, rinsed chicken drumsticks or chicken legs, and they're going into a 6-quart crock pot. So I'm going to season with some Montreal chicken seasoning. Here I also have some onion powder, salt-free lemon pepper. I'm just going to add the rest of that bottle into 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. And I'm also going to be using some original all-purpose blend. It's like a seasonal salt. Here's garlic powder and smoked paprika. Season your chicken how you like. Eyeball it. I do. I'm also going to be adding chicken bouillon powder into the mix. So I'm just going to combine all of these, and this is what I'm seasoning the chicken with. I have my hand gloved because I kind of want to mix it in. You probably could do this in a bowl to make life easier, but you know, I like to make things hard on myself. Sort of coat the chicken as best as I can, or seasonings you prefer. This is just an easy recipe for slow cooker drumsticks. It's so simple. Cover with the lid, and I'm going to set this on high and let it cook until the meat is cooked through and tender. It's going to take minimum like 3 hours. Dinner is just cooking away. So I'm going to make these boursin mashed potatoes. It's really just this boursin cheese with mashed potatoes. So I'm going to peel these. You could use gold potatoes. I like russet. I find that russet potatoes, when you're mashing potatoes, just gives a creamier, velvetier texture. So I'm going to rinse these potatoes really well. I'm using definitely over 1.5 pounds of russet potatoes, maybe 2 pounds. And I'm just going to chop these into chunks. Place them in my pot, and I'm gonna cover this with maybe like 1/3 to 1/2 inch of water over the potatoes. Now I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon powder. You could add maybe like a teaspoon or so of salt if you don't want to add that. I like this. Right into the water, and then cover with a lid, bring to a boil, let it simmer until fork tender. Now I am going to make roasted asparagus. Here's another little chefy tip. Just break one, and wherever it breaks, that's where you want to cut. And I don't remember where I saw that. I'm pretty sure I saw it when I was younger on a cooking show. I used to love watching cooking shows on PBS. Okay, so I'm going to clean all of the asparagus. And by separating it from the rubber bands and doing this, you know, you get to weed out things that you don't want to eat, like this. So I'm going in with some avocado oil, and I'm going to season with lemon pepper. That's it. So really simple, Like I always say, season things how you like. If all you have is salt and pepper in your pantry, you know, do that. That works. Spread this into a single layer on a baking sheet with parchment paper, and I'm gonna roast these at around 425 for maybe 10 minutes or so. It's not gonna take long because these are really thin. Okay, crockpot chicken is basically done. This took 3.5 hours on high. It also depends if your chicken is going in cold. If it's super cold, it will definitely take a longer time to cook through. But this is falling apart, and I want this morsel for myself. So my mashed potatoes should be done. I'm using a chopstick. Fork tender works. No resistance on the chopstick, so these are cooked through and tender. I'm going to strain out all the boiling liquid, but I will leave around ½ cup in the pot for flavor. I'm going to unwrap this Boursin cheese and just put it right into the potatoes. Honestly, this idea is on their website. I remember this was like a mashed potato hack not too long ago. I'm adding hot milk. I put the milk into the microwave. That just helps to keep things warm as you're mashing these. And just combine everything together with the milk, the Boursin cheese. You can add salt and pepper to taste, and those are the mashed potatoes. These are done. So asparagus, delicious. Mashed potatoes are creamy and flavorful. And these are tender, fall off the bone. Look at this. And check this out. The sauce at the bottom of the slow cooker thickened because of the all-purpose flour and the seasoning that I kind of shook onto the chicken. Okay, we're going right over because it's so flavorful. And this is dinner. Very simple, very easy. I'm going to keep this in rotation because it's so good. Okay, so today I'm making a Crockpot slow cooker lemon butter chicken. The meal that I'm preparing today is entirely done in a crockpot and an electric skillet. So I'm going to create a rub for my lemon butter chicken. So I'm starting with lemon pepper. Here I'm adding like a tablespoon. Really, the ratios are up to you. And if you don't have all of these seasonings and spices, just use some seasoned salt, pepper, and a fresh lemon, or just lemon pepper and salt and pepper. It all works. So I'm going in with some smoked paprika, some garlic powder. I'm also going to be adding onion powder, and just give everything a good mix. Like I said, use your favorite spices and rubs for this. To prep the chicken, I've already rinsed it in cold water, and I removed the chill. I had it setting on my countertop for about 30 minutes or so. So what I'm going to do is add half of a large lemon into the cavity of the chicken and sprinkle in some of that mix, that spice mix that we just created. And now I'm just going to get my hands messy. I have 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter that's softened. And right into the butter dish, I'm going to mix in some of this spice mix. I know this is ridiculous, but look, it's already dirty. So I'm just going to mix it in with my hands. This is going under the skin where the chicken breast is at. And whatever's on my hand and left in the butter dish, I'm just going to spread it all over the exterior of the chicken. By the way, tuck in those wings. To put into my 6-quart or 8-quart crock pot. Right in there, snug as a bug. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just add some of the rub. And actually, I was sprinkling this on and I realized I still have half of that fresh lemon. So I'm going to take this, squeeze all the lemon juice onto the exterior of the chicken. And then I'm just going to continue with the rest of that spice mix that I created. And I'm just going to leave this right into the crock pot. So here we are, sprinkling the exterior. You could do the backside, but it's all going to sort of just mix and marry together as it cooks in the slow cooker. Okay, so you want to make sure you plug this in, because I have totally done that before where I forget to plug it in. Add the lid, and I'm cooking this on high for about 4 hours. This is a 4.5 pound whole chicken, so 4 hours should do the trick. Okay, so after about 4 hours, again, cook time always varies, especially if you're working with a cold chicken, it'll take longer. But this is cooked, and it smells and looks amazing. See how the chicken breast kind of split? I probably could have stopped this around 3.5 hours, but I wanted to make sure everything was cooked, so I did 4. So I'm going to sprinkle it with dried parsley. I don't know, use fresh parsley if you got it. And then all of that rendered juice, fat, and butter, just so wonderful. So I want to show you how soft and tender this chicken comes out. I'm really not cutting this. It's almost like just pushing the pieces apart. That's how tender this Crockpot chicken comes out. It's just, oh, and let me show you. I have to have a wing, but look how fall off the bone this is. And this is why I love the slow cooker method for any cut of chicken. Whether you serve it with rice, veggies, mashed potatoes, and the gravy that forms at the bottom of the crock pot, it's so delicious. See you in the next one.